Whether through volunteering, through research, education, and celebration, we seek to participate and grow our community. At our core, we believe that our campus is a partner with the city, that we share a common interest and desire to engage and educate San Antonio. From our first few days on campus as first years, we start out volunteering and getting out in the community. And it doesn't stop there.
We believe that education shouldn't happen just within our walls. Through lectures, innovations, internships and careers, and art exhibits, we want to educate and inspire our community.
San Antonio has provided us countless opportunities to engage with our fun and vibrant city through music and art, KRTU, performances, MLK Walk, Ciclovia, Rock and Roll Marathon, and my favorite, Fiesta, just to name a few.
As a member of Hope Hall, which stands for Homelessness Outreach Pursuing Education, I'm able to engage with the city of San Antonio in a very unique way by making an impact on the lives of other people in our community. And I'm not alone. The 60 other residents of Hope Hall give 2 hours a week to organizations around San Antonio that have partnered with Hope Hall. There are always new and exciting ways we engage in the community, and we're excited to continue sharing our minds, our time, our hands, and our pride in our community.
Hello, and welcome to the Center for Sciences and Innovation, or as we like to call it here at Trinity, CSI. They call me the Center for Sciences and Innovation Building Official Robot Guide, but you can just call me CSI Borg.
So here at Trinity, we have this new building called CSI. It stands for the Center for the Sciences and Innovation. It's our new science building, and we're really proud of it. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to develop a unique and impressive way to showcase this building to prospective students. And to do this, we developed an automated tour guide that started with the base of just a robot, and we added physical hardware components too, as well as software components too, to make it accomplish these goals.
It was an innovative project for an innovation building, and I was like, wow, I would love to get my hands on that kind of project, just to, what better way to showcase this new CSI building than with innovation itself.
So we really wanted to make the tour more interactive and user-friendly. So our first task was to make really the robot taller. So I designed a Trinity Tower scale model that makes the robot about 3.5 feet tall, gives a little bit better interface for people to use it.
Luckily, when we started the project last year, I was taking Scala. So I was kind of getting my hands wet with coding.
I think our biggest challenge was compiling all of the right things in the allotted time, getting everything accomplished that we wanted to in just a 9-month period, and still balancing, 4 or 5 other classes. And then specifically to the project, we had to focus on staying under this weight constraint that was important, because otherwise, if we go over the weight, the robot's going to operate a lot less efficient, possibly not even operate at all.
We realized that the stuff that we were trying to do with the things we were trying to do it with hasn't really been done very much, or if it hasn't been documented well. If you ask the coding team, they had to do a lot of different workarounds because ROS wasn't made to give tours, right? It was made for autonomous navigation, and so we need to incorporate those concepts into what we wanted.
Sometimes a problem seems kind of unsolvable, and you can't just give up. You have to find workarounds, and sometimes these workarounds are not going to be beautiful. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be polished.
One of the other challenges that's really big, that's been a deciding factor for a lot of our decisions, is the robot can't see glass. I don't know if you've been in CSI, but CSI is all glass. And the fact that the robot can't see glass is very, very problematic. And one of the ways we went over this hurdle was give it shorter goals and limit its decision making so that it doesn't go into glass.
My role in this is as an advisor. It's very hands-off because these are engineers in their senior year. They know what they're doing. They should know what they're doing. And the nature of the projects they're generally multidisciplinary, so they involve really using all the skills they've learned. And some of them are more software, and some of them are more hardware, and some of them are chemical and electrical and mechanical, but there's usually a good mix of them.
So working on this project was really cool for a number of reasons. It helped me to really see like how my background in engineering has paid off. Not so much as, I have all this technical knowledge of how to, use all these formulas to build something physical, but also just to be part of a team and to think constructively and to think as an engineer when I'm brainstorming with the group.
Yeah, it makes sense to have a robot rather than have a tour guide, because Trinity is cool like that.
People will come away from the tour with wow all over their face. They will think to themselves, what was I just a part of? And I believe the eager prospective students will want to come to Trinity to design something similar with the mentality of, when can I get started on something similar?
My name is Jeremy Urban. I'm a 2003 Trinity grad. I came from Victoria, Texas, a little rancher boy who made his way to the big city, fell in love with the campus when I came here. It was somewhat close to home, but it was still far enough away for me to spread my wings, and had a chance to spend 4 awesome years here. When I came here in 1999, here we are in 2015. I've almost spent half my life on the Trinity campus, because even when I was playing in the NFL, I'd come back every offseason, help with the track program, help with the offseason football program, get to know guys from a mentor, alumni standpoint. So a chance to come back to home and lead young men in a point in their life that was a very impressionable point in my life as well is something that I take great pride in. I had a chance to play on a lot of very, very good football teams here, and I think the Trinity's pretty well known academically, and we really parlayed that. We played off of one another, great academics, phenomenal football. We had a chance to play for a national championship, and it just really enhanced that experience for us. And I think that, we don't settle for anything else here. Again, look at our facilities, look at the academic ranking. We strive to be the best, and that's what we want to do in football as well. Trinity has a phenomenal network. Even though we're a small campus, our alumni base is eager to see Trinity people succeed. And we're all over the country. We understand what kind of students come to Trinity, and they're highly motivated. They're willing to spread their wings and try different things with the liberal arts degree. They're not coming in specializing in one thing. They're going to have a broad base. And if you hire them and they don't understand it, we know that Trinity students are going to do the work necessary to understand that. It's just a really cool feeling to know that from the day you walk on campus to the day you leave, and then after, that people really do have your best interests at heart. The Tiger athlete is very motivated, very disciplined. I think that our athletics program in general, especially being the #1 school in the state, as far as the Sears Cup rankings and how we compete nationally, that's not just football, that's not just women's soccer, that's not just volleyball or men's. It's the whole athletics department. From football starting in the fall, first team to report, to baseball going all the way deep into May, playing in the Final Four this year. We represent this school, and we take great pride in that. And I think that the young men and women who want to come here want to live up to that standard and hold all sports to a high level of accountability. Our motto here is be the standard, and that's something that we put in November of 2013 as a new staff. And I think our guys have really gravitated to that, and they understand what it means, and we really try to paint that picture for the recruits and tell them that they're expected to live up to that as well.
So the value of learning in a broad-based liberal arts and sciences university is that you don't have to be just one thing. In fact, we encourage you to be more than one thing. And as a first-year student, if you're coming in and you have absolutely no idea what you want to be when you grow up, then this is a great place for you to start. Get to test out a bunch of different classes and find your passion. And most of our students, you'll notice, have more than one passion.
One of the reasons why I came to Trinity is because of the liberal arts education and because I was kind of unsure of what I wanted to study. So coming to Trinity and being able to take classes in every department and having the faculty tell you what you're good at and guiding you through the way, having an advisor, has really, really benefited me, and I know a lot of my colleagues, because you are able to take classes and choose your major your junior year. And you don't waste any of your classes because every class teaches you something really special.
So being an engineer, attending a liberal arts school, most engineers would question that, and they would wonder why I'm attending a liberal arts university. But the entire background on that is we want to produce kids that are well-rounded in every facet of the professional world. Being at a liberal arts university, I'm learning things that I never thought I'd get a chance to, and it's definitely fun. It keeps everything interesting. Get away from the numbers and equations and learn a little bit of history, and it's fun being able to do things like that, but it also creates a well-rounded individual.
I think the Trinity liberal arts curriculum is definitely a great way for people to explore options and maybe find a different career that they thought they weren't interested in. For example, if you go in as a science major and you take some of the curriculum and, for example, in art, and you find out it's your true passion, then you go in that route. You definitely have the opportunity to explore different options and take classes that are not just about your major.
I think that our curriculum at Trinity is set up in such a way that students are able to come in and really find their true passion. So many 18-year-old young men and women think that they have an idea what they want to be, and it's awesome if they can continue that throughout their career, but Trinity really allows them to pursue other things and find their passion, find what they're good at, and hopefully find a lifelong career.
So what kind of student goes to Trinity? I'd say well-rounded students go to Trinity. They write well, they speak well, they're very comfortable with people of all different sorts, they talk well with their professors, with each other, and because of that being well-rounded, they seem to be really accepting and open to ideas and to other sorts of people. It makes me want to be around them.
Trinity students, wow, we are very dedicated. I've never met a more tenacious group of individuals, and that's something I really appreciate.
I mean, as a political science and communication major, I like to think of the words engaged and active for Trinity students because, you know, we're active citizens, we're engaged with our media, our politics, our, you know, everyday life and the things we love to do. And we go out there and we give it 100% no matter what we're doing.
The type of students at Trinity are usually way too involved, but it really makes for an awesome campus. There's always something going on, and you can't really miss a beat because you might miss out on something really awesome.
The students at Trinity tend to be smart, serious, and well-rounded. I love that Trinity students care about themselves and also care about the world around them. They serve, they volunteer, they're engaged in the local community. I also love that Trinity students are serious about their studies, but they don't take themselves too seriously. They enjoy having fun and they enjoy working hard, and it creates for a really nice balance on campus.
The type of students that go to Trinity are a diverse group of students. They range in personality, they range in skills, and because of that, it allows for such a diverse community. And so people that really want to push themselves and really want to learn a lot about, you know, their boundaries and how to push those boundaries and how to find new friends that are in what they love, that's the students at Trinity. That's what they love to do.
Debaters are the kinds of students who learn best by helping to shape the discourse in the room, as opposed to simply absorbing a lecture or other material that's given to them. It can only happen at a school with average class sizes like we have at Trinity. The challenge at Trinity certainly comes from the rigor of the classroom experiences.
I am Chris Garagiola in the class of 2015. I am a senior and I'm a communications major and a human communication minor. I like to look at Trinity as a before and after. The kid who I was then and the man I am now. They are two very different people, to be perfectly honest. There were a lot of things that I kind of needed to do my own growing up, and when I was surrounded by the right faculty and the right friends, I was put on the right path. I was able to start doing things that I really never thought were possible. I'm going to be working this summer in London. I had an internship with a major sports television company, which is something that I always wanted to do, and being at Trinity, they made that possible because they made me someone who was capable of that type of opportunity.
No.
Good evening.
I don't hear anything now, unfortunately.
I don't hear anything. I can't hear anything.
Hold on. I'm not plugged in, buddy.
Okay.
That's fine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to the campus of Trinity University. A lovely sunny evening here. And we have some great baseball for you. Trinity up against the number 6th ranked Centenary College from Shreveport, Louisiana. And we're starting off with a little bit of a rundown here. And Zane Wilkinson is going to be out at first. So we will keep you up to date with everything that's going on here. And at the top of the first inning, this is Callum Squires on the mic alongside Steve Oleksak. Steve, great to have you with us.
Hi, folks.
And how are you thinking about tonight?
Boy, it's a beautiful day for baseball. About 70 degrees, no humidity, slight breeze coming in towards home plate. Should be a nice day. Dylan McGee gets that first out. He's a Trinity starter. A hard-throwing right-hander with some good off-speed pitches. Works the fastball well, mid-80s, 85, 87. And you're going to look for him to work fast, work ahead, and try and get this Tiger offense rolling early on.
Well, Dylan McGee certainly starting well here, going up 0-2 in the count. And Trinity trying to get off to a fast start and maybe get a 1-2-3 inning here. As we see, obviously, that was Wilkinson who was the first out for Centenary. This one is going to be a ball. And this here is Aaron Quintanilla, which is a fantastic name. Early forerunner for a SCAC all-name team tonight. Aaron Quintanilla, the shortstop. He is a senior, number 15 here, as McGee continues.
Boy, McGee throwing a lot of off-speed pitches early. Good to see those pitches down in the dirt. That's a good sign early on here as we see how he's going to compete and how far he can go and take this Tiger this Tiger team into the game. Tigers are coming off a big weekend. They flew in all their 2016 winners of the national championship, and
that is hit straight. And there you go. That's out number 2. Hit straight at the second baseman. And Trinity getting 2 quick outs there. We'll run you through the lineups right quick here. As we already said, it's pitcher Dylan McGee, number 49, on the mound for the Tigers. And we'll run through the Centenary lineup. We've had Wilkinson and Quintanilla. This is Cody Crowder coming up, followed by Michael Schimpf, Chris Zapata, the impressive catcher, Ian Graham, Cole Laverne, Andrew Russell, Cameron Gwynn, and Caleb Kirk is the pitcher for Centenary. That one from McGee in for a strike to start off this at-bat for Cody Crowder. And then for Trinity, we'll run you through their lineup in just a second. The Tigers stand at 12-11 this season, as that one is hit down the first baseline and fair, and that's going to be a base hit, and it's going to be a double for Cody Crowder, able to get it past Joey Pecoraro at first base. And Centenary getting on base early here, Steve.
One thing I'd like to see Dylan McGee is continue to throw strikes and to work quickly. I mean, Callum, we're barely even able to get through this lineup, and we already have 2 outs now. So good to see that from a pitcher. It's good to see that from the defense.
McGee checks back to second and releases that one inside with another lovely bit of movement on that pitch for a strike.
Good first pitch curveball there. McGee's going to have to be really careful with the runner on second base with 2 outs. He's going to want to make sure to not throw too many balls here, but at the same time, you don't want to give that hitter anything too good.
Indeed. And it's 1-1 on the count now. Centenary, obviously a highly ranked team, and an impressive season so far, as Trinity then trying to defend the national championship they won last season. Though that one is hit hard out into right field, and the play is made by Jake Martin, and that will end the inning. So Centenary do get a runner on base, but that is it, and we are now going to the bottom of the first, and we'll be back with you very shortly. So we are ready to go with the first inning for the Tigers here, bottom of the first. And this is Jake Martin, who had an impressive week last week. And he is going to lead off here, number 11, for the Tigers. Impressive sophomore here, Jake Martin.
Yeah, Jake's had a great year, hitting .333. He's played in all 23 games, 88 at-bats, knocked in 18 runs, and he's at 5 for doubles. Jake Martin also leading the team with 3 home runs on the season. We talked about this Trinity team earlier in the year when we had our first series. Talked about them not hitting the ball more on the ground, hitting more line drives. And you see an example right there.
Yeah.
Jake Martin grounding out to first base.
Batting second, center fielder number 34.
Looks like only 6 home runs on the season.
And now we have Blake Frampton, number 34, the center fielder for the Tigers. Takes that one, but that will go in for a strike. Caleb Kirk for Centenary on the pitching mound. That one outside, 1-1. Kirk with a 6-1 record this season and a 2.06 ERA. So a pretty impressive record from this pitcher. A key part of the Centenary team for the last couple of years now, Caleb Kirk, the junior. And trying to work Frampton here. He has the 2-1 count. Frampton swings at that one and gets nothing but air. And it goes to 2-2.
This Centenary team has 3 main starters. Caleb Kirkshire, one of the 3, all of them with sub 2.5 ERAs.
It's an impressive pitching staff for sure. And
really
that
good numbers.
Is strike 3.
Alongside those starters for Centenary is Jackie Allen and Matthew DeViller. So I assume we'll see those two. Matthew DeViller with a 7-0 record. And that's this year.
Yeah. Certainly with this weekend series, I'm sure we can expect to see the 2 of them as well, Stevie. And now moving on in the Tiger order with 2 outs. This is the man with 1,000 nicknames, Scott Walters. And he, as ever, without batting gloves, wrists taped, takes the first pitch for a strike.
Scott's been doing really well at the plate, hitting .310, 22 games played. These guys will take advantage of extra base hits, and he's very aggressive on the base path.
Fouls that one back. Right straight back.
That's a good sign right there from Walters. You'd expect Centenary pitcher now to throw something off speed with an 0-2 pitch. Something in the dirt or something high to throw Scott off balance.
Walters gets bat on ball. Shortstop comes in and fields it. And the play is made. And that is a very nice throw over to first to get the final out of the inning. And we will head to the top of the first with the score. Trinity nothing, Centenary nothing. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, and welcome to the Center for Sciences and Innovation, or as we like to call it here at Trinity, CSI. They call me the Center for Sciences and Innovation Building Official Robot Guide, but you can just call me CSI Borg.
So here at Trinity, we have this new building called CSI. It stands for the Center for the Sciences and Innovation. It's our new science building, and we're really proud of it. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to develop a unique and impressive way to showcase this building to prospective students. And to do this, we developed an automated tour guide that started with the base of just a robot, and we added physical hardware components too, as well as software components too, to make it accomplish these goals.
It was an innovative project for an innovation building, and I was like, wow, I would love to get my hands on that kind of project, just to, what better way to showcase this new CSI building than with innovation itself.
So we really wanted to make the tour more interactive and user-friendly. So our first task was to make really the robot taller. So I designed a Trinity Tower scale model that makes a robot about 3.5 feet tall, gives a little bit better interface for people to use it.
Luckily, when we started the project last year, I was taking Scala, so I was kind of
Welcome back, guys. As Justin Parker, our PA announcer of the evening's voice, rings around the baseball field, Chris Zapata has hammered that one straight into center field. First pitch, but it's gone and been caught by Blake Frampton back there for a second there. I thought that was heading out of the park.
Boy, it's a good thing he hit that thing straight to center field. That had the power to go over any left field or right field here at Trinity. But one pitch and one out for Dylan McGee to start off this inning.
Indeed. So certainly a positive start for McGee, who looks pretty composed on the mound so far, allowing one hit, but not really shaken much. And that one's going to be in the dirt for a ball here. And this is number 9, Ian Graham, the junior third baseman for Centenary. That one is hit well by Graham and is going to drop and will be a base hit as Graham scoots to first. Blake Frampton, who just made that catch just a second ago on Zapata, was racing in there trying to get it, but unable to get there, and it dropped safe, and a base hit for Graham.
Boy, just after quarter after 7 now on this Trinity evening, and there are sun balls out in the outfield. It is tough. They're staring right out into the sun. Blake had a little delay in that coming in on it, but he did a great job of keeping that ball in front of him while still making the diving play. We really would have expected him to make that dive.
Ooh, and there they go and get him at second, and he's out. Superb from Parker Cormack there to get the out.
Boy, there's no doubt about that. That was a rope. That was a frozen rope down to second. That throw beat him in the tag, beat that runner by a mile.
And a strike from McGee. So all of a sudden it's turned a little bit around, and that runner on base is thrown out. McGee a little bit close inside on that one, and it'll be a ball. 1-1. This, of course, is Cole Laverne, number 33 for Centenary. He is a junior first baseman.
I just see McGee keep that fastball low. When he starts throwing balls up, that's when you're going to see the bullpen start stirring for Trinity. Another low strike there.
There we go. McGee looking pretty solid so far as the count moves to 2-2. 2 outs here in the top of the second.
At the same time, you got to give the Centenary hitters some credit. This is their first time through the lineup. They're seeing a new pitcher. The strategy will definitely change the second time as we start getting the 4th and the 5th inning. They're going to start knowing what Dylan throws, knowing pitch sequences. They have guys on the bench that are charting that out and basically running statistics on the bench.
Woo! Great pitch there from McGee, and that will end the inning. So as we move to the bottom of the second, the score is still 0-0 here on the Tiger Network.
My name is Jeremy Urban. I'm a 2003 Trinity grad. I came from Victoria, Texas, a little rancher boy who made his way to the big city, fell in love with the campus when I came here. It was somewhat close to home, but it was still far enough away for me to spread my wings, and had a chance to spend 4 awesome years here. When I came here in 1999, here we are in 2015, I've almost spent half my life on the Trinity campus, because even when I was playing in the NFL, I'd come back every offseason, help with the track program, help with the offseason football program, get to know guys from a mentor, alumni standpoint. So a chance to come back to home and lead young men in a point in their life that was a very impressionable point in my life as well is something.
Leading off for the Trinity Tigers.
Welcome back, guys.
Number 14,
And
Michael
we're back here, bottom of the second, and the DH, Michael Davis, who had some big plays a couple weeks ago in the home series here. He will lead off the second inning for the Tigers. Davis is a junior, number 14 on his back.
Boy, slugging this season too, hitting just below 230.
Kirk misses outside with that one.
Leading the team in doubles. So you know the guy's hitting balls of the wall. He's not a guy with speed.
And that one's going into the Bell Center construction somewhere. Hope it hasn't damaged anything.
Boy, Mike's a guy that's really broken out of his shell his junior year. It's really not good to see. He's been given some early opportunities in the spring. Did very well, and coaches trust him ever since.
Davis there gets bound ball, but it goes straight to the shortstop. Throw over to first. And that was Quintanilla to Cole Laverne. And they get the first out here, and Davis will fall.
Batting second, the left fielder, number 1, Rafe Chamet.
This right here is my sway. Sway. All the girls are on me. Sway.
Next up, number 1, Rafe Chamet, who already has a couple walk-offs on his plate this season as a first year. The left-handed left fielder. Chamet lets that one go by.
Chamet brings a lot of energy to the plate. He's a fast outfielder. He covers a lot of ground, and he's a threat on the base pass. So he's been a really big asset for Trinity, and he's filled a lot of holes, especially losing a lot of those seniors last year.
2-0 there. It's going to be 3-0 with one just a little low and near Rafe's feet. Kirk not yet pounding the strike zone.
Rafe with 14 stolen bases, so you know that if he gets on, he's going to be looking as one of these leadoff guys with less than 2 outs.
That one's low, but in for a strike.
He'll be looking to get himself in scoring position here. Both teams have pitching pretty solid. Pitchers working quickly, throwing first pitch strikes. You see, this is one of the only first 3-0 counts we've seen all night.
Chamet fouls it off, and suddenly it's a 3-2 count.
That's what you expect out of this sound Centenary team. They haven't lost at home yet, 12-0. Away, they're 11-2. Overall, they're 23-3, so having an excellent year.
And Chamet will get on base.
Next up for the Tigers, the catcher number 2, Parker Cormack.
Parker Cormack up next, the junior catcher. Number 2 on his back and looking to try and see if he can help Rafe advance a little bit.
Man, I'm going to keep an eye over there at Rafe.
Yeah, Rafe
first base.
definitely may well be looking to steal.
And I bet Centenary knows that. They better check him over there. No.
That one from Kirk is a lovely pitch in for strike 1. Now he does check Rafe at first. Good evening, Zach Fregosi. It is true. Hammered. Very, very. Oh, and a little bit of a misfield. And Chalmette's taking off for third and will get there. So Cormac drills one almost down the first baseline. Fumbled a little bit by the right fielder running in, which allows Chalmette to escape to third. And we do have our first base hit of the evening for the Tigers. That's Parker Cormac. And Chalmette now very much in scoring position with his speed. And only one out.
Tigers in a really great opportunity here to really test his Centenary defense and put some pressure on the pitcher. First and third situations are really hairy, especially on, you don't know here if coach is going to let Holland swing the bat or if he's going to let him bunt.
George Harland certainly with a lot of power when he lets loose, so we'll see what he decides to do here. Trinity with only one out, trying to take an early advantage here in the bottom of the second and see if they can get ahead of Centenary. That one from Kirk is outside. The traveling fans from Shreveport not entirely enamored with that call.
Well, and Holland here in a good position to take advantage. You know that something's coming. With less than 2 outs, puts pressure to have a fastball here to really throw a strike and to not let this count. You see that 3-1 move to try and see just exactly what those Trinity runners are doing. I would assume there's some sort of fake steal or maybe a steal going to go on in the next few pitches.
That one is a little bit high. And the count moves to 2-0, though. You see the catcher there, Zapata, instantly looking to see if he can throw to first or third and try and get an out, but neither Trinity base runner was in a position to be caught out there. Cormac taking a relatively small lead here at first, and Chalmette ready to go from third. Harland this time does swing and miss, and that'll be a 2-1 count.
That's the first comfortable pitch I've seen Caleb Kirk throw this whole pitch sequence. He's seen a little uneasy now with runners on first and second, with runners on first and third with less than 1 out. Let's see if he can work back into this and try and turn a double play baseball.
Tries to pick off Cormac at first, not able to.
Holland has a home run on the year. 3 doubles, couple triples. Driven in 10 runs. He's in a good spot here.
That one is low in the dirt and moves the count to 3-1. So if Kirk's not careful here, we may be in a bases loaded 1-out situation. Harland wearing number 7 this year. Looking to see if he can get Chalmette home or just get on base with one more ball here.
You got to give Centenary catcher Chris Zapata a hand on that block. It's expected that if a pitcher throws a off-speed pitch with a runner on third, catcher will do his job and block that ball. But boy, was that a tough pitch.
Very nice pitch there to get strike 2.
Holland here with full count. An opportunity to drive in a run and get this first Trinity on the board here.
Kirk pitches. Harland swings and misses. Not exactly what you were drawing up if you were the Tigers there. A strikeout. Runner still on first and third. And up comes Joey Pecoraro. Number 21, the first baseman. Junior here. Very popular member of the Trinity Tigers baseball team. Let's see if he can get something going here and try and drive in this run that Chalmette has been threatening to score for quite a few pitches now.
Although you saw a little bit of nerves come out of Kirk, you see him settle right back down there and shock George Holland, shocked basically the whole crowd here with that 3-2 breaking ball. That just shows what a starter and and how much trust this guy has in his stuff. To throw that pitch, it was a ball if he would have taken it, but the way he'd work that count, fastball, You throw a pitch in the same plane, hitter doesn't know the difference. And as that ball breaks into the dirt, they're swinging right over it.
Let's see how Pecoraro holds up. Kirk releases this one. It's low, and they fake the throw. And Cormac is able to steal over to second. Now, 2 runners in scoring position for Pecoraro.
Well, I'm surprised they didn't send Parker a little bit earlier. Maybe with 1 out, they could have run that play. The whole goal of a first and third situation is to get that Trinity runner home by stealing second base. Centenary knows that, and most likely they're just going to give you that base as you see Zach hold the ball.
So now Kirk, 1-0 count to Pecoraro. Joey fouls that one off. It's only just caught by the fence there. As Zachary Oretsky runs out to pick up that ball. He is on deck for the Tigers. The explosive shortstop. Oretsky, very athletic and impressive baseball player. Kirk pitches again. This one in. And that will take the count to 1-2. Apologies if it was displayed incorrectly on our stream briefly. And that is a strikeout, and Kirk has done exceptionally well to get out of that piece of trouble there. Tigers held off the board despite having runners at second and third, and at the end of the second it's still 0-0 here. We'll be back soon.
I am Chris Garagiola in the class of 2015. I am a senior, and I'm a communications major and a human communication minor. I like to look at Trinity as a before and after. The kid who I was then and the man I am now, they are 2 very different people, to be perfectly honest. There were a lot of things that I kind of needed to do my own growing up, and when I was surrounded by the right faculty and the right friends, I was put on the right path. I was able to start doing things that I really never thought were possible. I'm going to be working this summer in London. I had an internship with a major sports television company, which is something that I always wanted to do, and being at Trinity, they made that possible because they made me someone who was capable of that type of opportunity.
Now Markey playing a ball. Hanmel tried to flick it forward, but it was blocked by Stanek.
Being a part of Newswave, that was such a unique experience.
Trinity University is home to many social, professional, and academic groups.
I can't think of another place really where I could have gone and been on camera and had the chance to kind of practice what I dream of doing someday. I think the fear is, with a liberal arts school, people are worried that they're not going to get the true college experience, whatever that means to them. I'm going to graduate from here, and I'm going to say that these were the best 4 years of my life. The Riverwalk's not too far, the airport's just down the road, you can go to places like the Court.
Welcome back, guys. Top of the third. Andrew Russell, the second baseman, leading off here for Centenary. McGee continuing. Russell, number 4. And trying to get the first run of this game, and he's hammered that one back into center field. Frampton chasing over and does a very good job in getting the first out of the inning there, Blake Frampton, as that was hit with some power as well.
You see now Blake Frampton have 3 balls in the outfield. He's getting some looks, but you got to credit Dylan for filling it up with first strikes. And if Centenary's going to continue to fly balls out in the outfield, well, so be it. That's a quick out.
Cameron Guin up next, number 18, the sophomore right fielder. And that one is a ball. A 3-0 count here. McGee working from behind now. This one is a strike. 3-1. As he tries to limit Guin's ability to get on base here. Centenary.
Dylan filling it up more.
There you go. 3-2, and it's a full count all of a sudden.
If Dylan can get outs, if he can get ground ball outs, if he can get high fly ball outs, he'll stay in this game for.
That one is hit straight at Scott Walters. Fires over to Pecoraro, and it's out number 2 for the Tigers in the top of the third.
Walters making an adjustment over at third base. He's experiencing the hot corner in full force after that. Line drive ground ball. Double bounces into his glove.
And
He's okay.
We are back to Zane Wilkinson, top of the order, number 10, the center fielder, freshman, leading off the order for these Centenary Gents. McGee flings that one in, but it's going to be a ball, a little bit low.
Walters with only a pair of errors on the season. Oh.
Ooh, and that might have been one there.
Boy, did I just jinx that or what? Oh, man.
Commentator's curse striking there as the ball bounces up off Walter's hand. Unable to field it. And that does send Wilkinson over to first. Both teams now been credited with an error here in the first 2 2/3 innings, excuse me. And Quintanilla is up next for Centenary.
Well, there's a couple rules to baseball. One of them is one of the biggest rules, goes without saying, is anytime you have a pitcher who's throwing really well and they either have a shutout going or a no-hitter or perfect game. If anyone on the bench ever mentions that actually occurring, baseball gods say it's almost bound to happen that that the next batter will get a hit. So you don't want to jinx anything, and the superstitions run high, especially in baseball.
McGee gets that one. It's going to be foul.
McGee with 2 outs still can't take complete focus off the runner, but should really be focusing on getting this last out here. Ooh, that one goes right off the home plate umpire's mask. They'll expect Parker to go take some time and let the crew chief walk that one off.
Not the most fun thing, that, in any way.
Yeah. You'd be amazed at some of the bruises some of those catchers have after just a single game. I mean, they never complain about it. You never see it, but boy, they wear some balls off there, you know.
You got to have some toughness to play this, absolutely. McGee flings to Pecoraro, unable to get the runner out first, and we continue. Tries to pick him off again. Wilkinson not fooled.
And Wilkinson not taking much lead over there. I appreciate McGee keeping him honest over there, but focus on the batter.
Nothing there right now. That is that. And that is the end of the inning. And we move towards the bottom of the third with the score still tied at 0s. See you second. Welcome back, guys. Zakharetsky ready to go for the Tigers now. Love this walk-up song. And Caleb Kirk just taking his time to get to the pitcher's mound, but getting ready to go now. Oretsky leading off the bottom of the third for the Tigers. Straight in for a strike. Game moving at a decent pace so far. Quite a few quick outs and very few base hits, just 3 across the first 2.5 innings here.
Not only are pitchers throwing first pitch strikes, but these hitters are jumping on anything over the plate, especially fastball.
That'll be 1-1.
As we go through the second part of the order now here with top coming up.
Oretsky is going to be out at first. And we will go to the top of the order. And Jake Martin back for his second at bat.
It's always interesting to see Kalamau is a pitcher, so I look at it from a pitching standpoint. As teams go through the order the second time now, here we go. A common practice or strategy, if a pitcher's throwing a lot of first pitch fastballs, you might start out with an off-speed pitch, changeup or a breaking ball. You saw a fastball right there. Basically, these hitters have a memory about 40 minutes old now, so you can mix and match that fastball to look like a changeup and actually fool them really easily with the first pitch ground ball out.
That one is right in the dirt, and Zapata unable to stop it, but takes the count to 1-1.
Fastball just spiked about a foot in front of the plate, just took a lip and jumped right up into the gate.
Kirk yields again, and this one is fired back over his head and up against the wall just about. The play is made, and that will be the second out, but not a bad hit at all from Jake Martin.
Jake Martin driving that ball to the right center gap, having a lot of power on that.
How about it for the Tigers? Center fielder number 34, Blake.
And when a guy's showing warning track power to the right side, that shows he's hitting the ball well. Any guy can pull the ball down the right-hand line. You can muscle it. When you let the ball get in the zone and you're really, when you have a fundamental swing, you're going to see power on the right-hand field, and you just saw that from Jake Martin.
Frampton is going to pop that one up towards the Tiger dugout, and play is made in foul territory, and that ends the inning. So we will now finish the third and head to the top of the fourth. Still nothing on the scoreboard. See you in a second.
And he slots it home, and the Tigers get the lead they were looking for. It's 1-0 Trinity.
As we fade back in here at the Trinity baseball field, top of the fourth, being led off by the designated hitter, number 28, Cody Crowder. Centenary looking to try and get their first run of the evening here. McGee, certainly impressive so far. That one a little low. And it will be 1-0. That one again a little low, and all of a sudden it's a 3-0 count. McGee needing to get back in the strike zone here. Does do so. Sorry, a late call. And that's strike one, takes the count to 3-1. But that one is going to walk him over to first. Fourth ball. And up next is Michael Schimpf, number 31, the left fielder, the senior. And Schimpf taking his time getting ready, adjusting his pants. And now we'll step into the box and face off with McGee.
This is the first time we've seen McGee with a base runner on, leadoff guy on.
Schimpf hits that one foul, but with quite a lot of power on it.
Schimpf a little late on that. You saw the foul ball down the first base line. That's a key indicator. He's late on Dylan McGee's fastball. Dylan McGee going to try and want to get a ground ball here. Work that double play.
Checks over to first. Nothing there.
You see Dylan McGee's tempo slowed down a lot now. Boy, is our tent's blowing in the wind. It's picked up a little bit. You see Dylan McGee's tempo has slowed down a little bit now with a runner on first. Want to make sure he keeps that high intensity, fast pace on the mound. Keeps the defense in it faster. Keeps the defense more engaged. You have better success for turn 2 here. Tigers not in on a bunt. They don't anticipate Centenary bunting. Walter's playing about even with the bag.
That one a little bit high. 2-1 count.
See McGee starting to leave fastballs up a little bit higher. It's a sign of fatigue. Something that Coach Scannell and Coach Dave Smith are going to keep an eye on.
That one's fired right over McGee's head and will be a base hit as Schimpf waits for his moment and strikes. And we have runners on first and second with no outs. And McGee in a little bit of a hole here, needing to get some outs and get some people off these bases pretty quickly, with Zapata, the catcher, coming to bat now.
This is the first time we've seen McGee in some trouble. Be interesting to see how he can work out of it. Centenary pitcher Caleb Kirk worked out of this last inning. You remember he had runners on.
And that's a good start. Very nice curve strike there.
McGee needs to get out here. One out would help his cause. He could still turn that double play ball.
That one goes through the gap. And he's going to be held at third. And Centenary are going to load these bases up. And this is going to be a mound visit from Coach Scannell.
And a good time for this visit. You see 2 or 3 hard-hit baseballs off Dylan McGee. Balls line drives. Not exactly what Coach Scannell likes to see. That means the Centenary team is starting to time up McGee's pitches, and you're seeing it now. bases loaded. Interesting to see what Coach Scannell does and the change that Dylan makes. I bet he's talking about tempo out there.
McGee listed as number 49, but wearing number 28 today. Perhaps a late change on that roster number system for the Tigers?
Well, while the Tigers have been away and on the road, they've made some changes as far as trying some different pitching combinations, trying some guys in the field. This team's still trying to create their own identity and build off their strengths. Talked about their speed on the base path. Not so much a power pitching team, but a team with a lot of guys who have really good stuff.
And obviously such a hard task to replace, what was the majority of a starting lineup, if not the entire starting lineup with the seniors from last season who did win that national championship. And obviously that in itself, carries a target on your back and has a lot of pressure on the Tigers. And so I think, like you said, Steve, still trying to find the identity is definitely correct here. Bases loaded, McGee needing to find something. Second pitch is a strike. Moves the count to 1-1.
Nothing will fire up your opponents more than saying you're playing the national champions from last year. Boy, you bet every guy in your opponent's dugout is sharp. That locked in, that at least the first few innings of that game. That's where we'll kind of want to see these Tigers break away is after this excitement kind of occurs and we settle into this series. Game 1 today, we got two tomorrow for you. Want to see how they react to some of this new pitching, some of these veteran guys that Centenary will throw at them, and ultimately a really hot offensive lineup.
McGee, that one's fouled off back, way back onto the roof of the Bell Center behind us. McGee's fighting back a little bit, 2-2 on the count. Still bases loaded though, so really needs to try and get this strikeout here. Would be very, very, very good.
Boy, he needs an out right here.
That one is a little low and in the dirt and will take the count. Oh!
Umpire says he went.
Excuse me, he says he went. And the away dugout is not happy about that. But Trinity will take it. And all of a sudden, the first out. And that changes things a little bit, as the double play here could end the inning.
I hear the Centenary fans not happy with that call. It could have gone both ways. The home plate umpire basically signaled that the batter had broken his plane of swing and had called the third out from his position. If that had been an unclear call, he would have asked for help over at the umpire down over at second base.
Certainly the travelling fans from Shreveport very vocal about not liking that call. That one, though, is hit.
Double play
chance. Double play made. And the Tigers escape. Fantastic work there from Aretsky and Davis. Aretsky and Harland and Pecoraro. And all of a sudden, the Tigers escape to head to the bottom of the fourth, with the score still tied at 0-0.
Hello, and welcome to the Center for Sciences and Innovation, or as we like to call it here at Trinity, CSI. They call me the Center for Sciences and Innovation Building Official Robot Guide, but you can just call me CSI Borg.
So here at Trinity, we have this new building called CSI. It stands for the Center for the Sciences and Innovation. It's our new science building, and we're really proud of it. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to develop a unique and impressive way to showcase this building to prospective students. And to do this, we developed an automated tour guide that started with the base of just a robot, and we added physical hardware components too, as well as software components too, to make it accomplish these goals.
It was an innovative project for an innovation building, and I was like, wow, I would love to get my hands on that kind of project, just to, what better way to showcase this new CSI building than with innovation itself.
So we really wanted to make the tour more interactive and user-friendly. So our first task was to make really the robot taller. So I designed a Trinity Tower scale model that makes the robot about 3.5 feet tall, gives a little bit better interface for people to use it.
Luckily, when we started the project last year, I was taking Scala, so I was kind of getting like my hands wet with coding.
I think our biggest challenge was compiling all of the right things in the allotted time, getting
Welcome back, guys. Scott Walters getting ready to go here, up against Caleb Kirk, continuing for the gents of Centenary. Trinity, you know, after escaping what was a very dangerous and precarious position with the bases loaded and no outs, you know, that's got to be a huge boost for the boys in the dugout there, and even, you know, McGee as he comes out to continue pitching next inning.
Boy, yeah, that inning was just dragging along, and in a matter of 2 pitches, that strikeout and then that ground ball, Dylan's able to really turn this momentum around, and the Tigers have an opportunity to use that energy and to create some offense here. We're in the middle of the 4th inning here.
Could be a big point in the game, that, for the Tigers, potentially. That one, 1-1 now. The Centenary fans certainly getting on the umpire here after that call that they disagreed with. Can't say I'm surprised, but certainly a difficult situation nonetheless. That one a little bit low. Oh, excuse me. In for the strike, so maybe there's a little bit of evening out there.
Boy, Kirk looking really sharp. Every pitch has been just painted exactly where his catcher's calling it. And he's working quick. He's trying to get his guys back at the hitting. That's exactly what you want as a starting pitcher. Boom.
Can't argue with that. Strike out, and Walters is dismissed. Coming in now is Michael Davis. Very nice crowd out here tonight for this game. Lovely, lovely warm temperate evening as the sun has just about gone down here now. That will be ball 1. It's been a big day on campus with Spring Family Weekend and Tiger Friday admissions event for admitted students for next year. And the traveling fans from Shreveport have turned out in some numbers as well. And so we've got a good crowd, seeing some top quality baseball here. 2-0 count, 1 out, bottom of the 4th.
It's a beautiful night.
Yeah.
Nice to see the Tigers back home. They've only played 3 games at home. Out of the 23 they've had on the road. They've had 20 on the road. Had quite the tour being the champions. They had been playing in a whole bunch of away tournaments, games. Now starting up conference.
Kirk fires that one into the strike zone as well. 2-2.
Trinity track behind us, finishing up their events of the day.
That one flies off the bat towards the foul area, but play is made, excuse me. And the second out goes down as Davis unable to get on base. Still just a 1 base hit for the Tigers so far. That was Parker Cormack. And now Chalmette is up again.
Neither team have really had success, other than last inning, creating runners early in the inning with less than 2 outs. You've seen pitchers do a good job getting that base runner.
There you go. Chalmette shows why he has such an impressive start to his career here as a Tiger. And a base hit to get him on base here early. Sorry, excuse me, 2/3 of the way through this inning. So a 2-out rally perhaps underway with Parker Cormack now the only player who had a hit before that one from Chalmette. And suddenly we've got a little chance here for the Tigers to try and get some offense going.
Now, Tigers have done it before with 2 outs. I'd like to see Chalmette aggressive on the base pass here.
Chalmette not allowing himself to be taken at first. Kirk just checking how much of a lead Chalmette has taken. This one is a swing and a miss and a second strike.
And Trinity hitters have not looked good with that breaking pitch. That's been Kirk's bread and butter tonight. He's thrown it first pitch. He's thrown it behind in the count. He's thrown it full count. He's thrown it with the bases loaded. So,
excuse me, that was the first strike. Kirk ahead in the count. That one in for the second strike.
And those type of pitches you just can't take. You saw a curveball pounded in the dirt, and now you just saw a fastball right down the middle of the plate, belt high. You're going to have to adjust your hitting here. With a guy with such a good off-speed pitch, you want to take advantage of any sort of fastball or any sort of slip-up he gives you. Anything straight you want to hit. You want to at least take a swing at.
Cormac does take a swing at that one. It goes high, chasing it over to the wall. And the play is made by Cole Laverne, who ran into Zapata, the catcher coming over there, but the play is made. And the inning will end with the third out, and that will send us to the fifth. Still nothing on the scoreboard here. Back in a second.
My name is Jeremy Urban. I'm a 2003 Trinity grad. I came from Victoria, Texas, a little rancher boy who made his way to the big city, fell in love with the campus when I came here. It was somewhat close to home, but it was still far enough away for me to spread my wings, and had a chance to spend 4 awesome years here. When I came here in 1999, here we are in 2015. I've almost spent half my life on the Trinity campus, because even when I was playing in the NFL, I'd come back every offseason, help with the track program, help with the offseason football program, get to know guys from a mentor, alumni standpoint. So a chance to come back to home and lead young men in a point in their life that was a very impressionable point in my life as well, is something that I take great pride in. I had a chance to play on a lot of very, very good football teams here, and I think the Trinity is pretty well known academically, and we really parlayed that. We played off of one another, great academics, phenomenal football. We had a chance to play for a national championship, and it just really enhanced that experience for us. And I think that, we don't settle for anything else here. Again, look at our facilities, look at the academic ranking. We strive to be the best, and that's what we want to do in football as well. Trinity has a phenomenal...
Top of the fifth inning for the Centenary Gents.
Welcome back. Top of the fifth. And Andrew Russell leading off for these Gents. Number 4, we are flying through this. Just an hour into the game, top of the fifth. That one for strike 1.
Now McGee settles back down. Nice low strike there. It's good to see after the first pitch. Had a little rocky start last 2 innings. The first inning going to be really key to get this first out. And then you hear you see the Centenary fans. Let the umpire
really
know,
unhappy.
thank you for asking for help. And it is customary. If you're the home plate umpire, you want to check down at the first base line if there's ever a check swing. Ideally, they have the best position. Only last inning or two innings ago,
that one's going high into right field. Play made. First out.
When the home plate umpire made that call last inning, Mike, the first base umpire, was behind the pitcher's mound, so he was in no position to make that call as well. So really, it really must have been an apparent swing for the home plate umpire to even make that judgment call.
McGee continuing. This is Guin, I believe.
McGee throwing a little bit more fastball than breaking pitch. You expect to see that. Just tries to extend his outing as long as he can go. Only 6 hits on the night between the two teams. No runs, 2 errors. It's your classic defense and pitcher's duel tonight.
And that catch is made as well for the second out.
One thing you're not seeing from the Centenary team are these line drive outs into the outfield that you saw a couple innings ago. That's partly due to the ability to keep that fastball down. He's done a good job here, settling back in.
Second out. Scoreboard has not yet updated to say so, but that is the second out of this inning.
Let's see, McGee pitching tonight. We had Trevor Griffin, SCAC Pitcher of the Week. Last
Very
week.
happy for Trevor there.
Boy, what a joy it's been to see him pitching well as a senior right-hander. Tall guy out of Tucson. Hopefully we'll see him sometime this weekend. We really want to see him out.
3-1 now following that strike.
Tigers have had their righties leading them with Kevin Flores having an outstanding year. Tall right-handed pitcher. Trevor Griffin breaking out of his shell. And McGee pieced him together himself a nice outing here today.
Gets him swinging. And that will end the inning. And we will head to the bottom of the 5th with the Tigers and the Gents still tied at nothing. See you shortly.
So what kind of student goes to Trinity? I'd say well-rounded students go to Trinity. They write well, they speak well, they're very comfortable with people of all different sorts. They talk well with their professors, with each other, and because of that being well-rounded, they seem to be really accepting and open to ideas and to other sorts of people. It makes me want to be around them.
Trinity students, wow, we are very dedicated. I've never met a more tenacious group of individuals, and that's something I really appreciate.
I mean, as a political science and communication major, I like to think of the words engaged and active for Trinity students because, you know, we're active citizens, we're engaged with our media, our politics, our, you know, everyday life and the things we love to do. And we go out there and we give it 100% no matter what we're doing.
The type of students at Trinity are usually way too involved, but it really makes for an awesome campus. There's always something going on, and you can't really miss a beat because you might miss out on something really awesome.
The students at Trinity tend to be smart, serious, and well-rounded. I love that Trinity students care about themselves and also care about the world around them. They serve, they volunteer, they're engaged in the local community. I also love that Trinity students are serious about their studies.
Second baseman number 7, George Holland.
George Holland. Good choice of walk-up song, George. Number 7, George Holland. Kirk continuing with the pitching. Centenary and the Tigers tied at 0. But a good, as you said, Steve, a good defensive pitching baseball game so far. And Holland gets bat on ball.
And that's what you'd expect to see. You got the first game of this series. Both coaches almost hope their starters are going to really extend out their innings, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 innings. And last thing you want to do when you come in, especially on the road, is blow through arms and then be limited later on in Game 2 and in Game 3 in tight situations. So kudos to both starters for basically putting their teams in great positions to have a fresh, healthy, competitive edge on the mound.
Harlan fouls that one off as well and takes us to 0-2. That one is a little high. Arrow of a pitch there.
You'd expect to see that. It's a 0-2 fastball. Not going to give Holland anything close to the zone. In fact, as a pitcher, you get in trouble for throwing. In that situation, you get in trouble for throwing a strike. Boy, Holland just stays alive there. He just tipped that.
Fouled that one back, George. Makes it stay at 1-2. And this one was, I think he's called that foul as well.
A good thing foul. Holland would have been,
tough.
Would have been thrown out by. Ian Graham over there at third. He's got a good arm. Typically third baseman can also be used as pitchers. You'll see him come in from time to time. Normally they have an arm. They have to throw it across the diamond. Boy, very close pitch there. A good take by Holland. Could have been a little too close to take there, but a good eye. Kirk delivered a great fastball there to even the count. 2-2 now.
That gives us a full count here at the start of the bottom of the fifth. Really big couple of pitches here. See if Harlan can manage to get on base, having fought and clawed his way to this full count. And if Harlan could get on base, that just gives the Tigers such a lift at the start of this inning.
Good at bat here. Let's see. Holland worked his way from 0-2.
And he does get on base.
And that's really great for Trinity offense. No outs. Holland comes back from 0-2 to draw that walk. Almost better than a hit now as you see Joey getting ready. I would suspect Trinity now has the opportunity to lay down a bunt to work some sort of steal or hit and run play. With this game being such a pitcher's duel, any base runner is a huge opportunity.
You only just have to look at the scoreboard. 4 hits for Centenary through 5 innings, just 2 for the Tigers. So very, very little in the way of offensive momentum for either team. Certainly, the only one that really springs to mind is Centenary having the bases loaded at one point against McGee, and he still being able to alleviate that situation and escape with the game still tied and scoreless. So as Kirk continues here, that foul ball draws strike number 1. We are really, looking for some kind of offensive explosion, really, hopefully from the Tigers. But the Gents holding firm so far, and Kirk there able to take the first strike and tie the count at 1.
And if you're Kirk in this situation, you don't need to be upset with yourself because you've gotten ahead both times 0-2. You see his stuff is still sharp. He's still staying low in the zone. He just needs to execute and finish the batter. With a run on first, he might be a little distracted. It's kind of Holland's job, basically, to, if he's not stealing, at least to try and disrupt the timing of the pitcher.
Kirk composes himself. That one is a foul ball. Pecoraro stays alive.
Pecoraro, he's hitting .208 on the season. He's played in 15 games, 48 at bats, 4 runs driven in. He's still looking for that extra base hit. So, has 4 doubles. So in a good spot here to drive something deep into the outfield.
Harland will get to second. George Harland deciding to take off and gain some momentum for the Tigers here. Harland at second, no outs, 1 and 2 count for Pecoraro. And maybe this is the time and the moment that we were hoping for the Tigers.
Boy, that's huge by George Holland. That's his 3rd stolen base now on the year. Doesn't steal a lot of bags. You know he got a good jump off that. That was definitely a timing steal, and just like that, we have a runner on second with no outs, scoring position. Going to put some pressure on Kirk as well, as he again falls. Now he's even, 2-2. We remember he was 0-2, both on Holland and now on Pecoraro. Centenary bullpen remained inactive. Trinity has also remained inactive. So both head coaches relying on their starters.
Oh, and Pecoraro gets the toe of the bat on that and fouls it off. Two and 2 count. Harland at second. Pecoraro trying to make something happen. Pitch comes in and full count.
Boy, Pecораro's worked himself into a full count. Kirk's thrown a bunch of pitches these last 2 batters, and Aretsky's on deck. Tigers have a really great opportunity now to cook something up. Because Holland stole second base, he's not only in scoring position, but he's taken away that double play ball, which, boy, for Centenary, that would really kill this inning right now.
Pecoraro does send that one down the right field foul line, and the ball will full foul. Still 3-2 on the count. Huge couple of pitches coming here. You feel no outs. Harland at second, scoreboard tied, nothing on it, and Trinity in need of something to get themselves going here.
This is the first time you've seen Trinity working counts in their favor, and it hasn't come easy. They've been working behind the whole time, but the ability to work these pitches and to keep Kirk throwing. The more pitches he throws, not only does he start to fatigue in the long inning especially, but hitters will start to see more and more of those pitches, and they'll start to understand how exactly his curveball breaks. And in effect, basically they're able to go back to the bench and relay what's flat and what's not working. Ball's roped down the line.
Pecoraro made contact with that one, all right.
Boy, you saw you see the confidence jump in Pecoraro right after that swing.
Okay, contact on the ball. Now, let's see if we can keep it in play and get a run on the board.
And that ball made it to the outfield so fast, you might have caused Holland some trouble with the outfielders. That ball made it within seconds in the outfield. Big moment here, Pecoraro. Full count here, 2 out, no outs. Runner on second.
Oh, and he struck him out. That's huge from Kirk there. Got to give him credit for getting Pecoraro swinging, excuse me. And all of a sudden, the first out goes down.
Big out there, boy. That inning could have gotten out of hand for Centenary, but Kirk doing a really good job of tightening it down and working himself into 2 outs away from getting his offense back into a scoring opportunity.
And this is Zach Aretsky, number 3, the shortstop. And the Tigers still with this runner on second, still only 1 out, so certainly in a decent position here, but trying to avoid a inning-ending double play. Pecoraro fell to the strikeout, and that one is going to be called a ball. Aretsky as I mess around with the scoreboard here, excuse me. Oretsky gets ball number 1.
Oretsky's still in a great opportunity here to give Trinity a run. He could drive a ball out in the right field, and Holland has enough wheel. If he can get a good enough jump over there at second, shortstop really isn't holding him on that tight. He could score with any ball hit in the outfield, but Kirk making it tough there, working that off-speed pitch for strikes. He's continued to rely on that tight breaking ball when he gets in any sort of trouble. That's been his out pitch.
1-1 count. So that one's going to be called a strike. Feels like both benches are now not particularly enamored with the umpire.
At least he's fair, okay? He's calling it low for both sides of the plate. That's all you can ask for. It'll be interesting to see as you get later into the game if he sticks to that zone. That's really key for umpires. Look, if you're going to give those low strikes, at least give them consistently throughout the game. Don't tighten it up for those 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, because pitchers, word travels fast that if the umpire's giving you inches, they're gonna plan their strategy accordingly.
Absolutely. That one low. 2-2. This inning feels like it's taken longer than most of the others combined.
And you take a look at the number of balls thrown, the number of base runners, the tempo of the pitchers. They got to check their runners. And
that on ball there goes foul.
Second time now, the Tigers have been in an opportunity, a position now, with less than 2 outs, runners in scoring position, to make something happen. So you'd really like to see them take advantage of it. They couldn't get any runners across the board last inning. Kirk did a great job of getting out of quite a jam with some early leadoff base runners. McGee has had a similar experience tonight. That's some cheese still by Kirk as he misses that one up.
Full count.
Another full count. That's 3 full counts in a row. Kirk's thrown 18 pitches this inning. Upwards of 18 at least.
Yeah.
And you might think about a mound visit here. At least give him a breather if you're a Centenary coach. And if he walks this batter, I'd assume you might see just that.
And he does.
Boy, up.
And straight away, like clockwork, Steve Olexak is proven to be a genius as the mound visit is incoming. We will step aside for just a couple of minutes while this mound visit goes on, and we'll be back with you very shortly.
Hello, and welcome to the Center for Sciences and Innovation, or as we like to call it here at Trinity, CSI. They call me the Center for Sciences and Innovation Building Official Robot Guide, but you can just call me CSI Borg.
So here at Trinity, we have this new building called CSI. It stands for the Center for the Sciences and Innovation. It's our new science building, and we're really proud of it. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to develop a unique and impressive way to showcase this building to prospective students. And to do this, we developed an automated tour guide that started with the base of just a robot, and we added physical hardware components too.
Welcome back, guys. Mound visit completed. Caleb Kirk still out there, so perhaps as Steve suggested, maybe just giving him a little bit of a breather, but runners on first and second. Jake Martin coming up to bat. And
there's still no activity for the Centenary bullpen. Looks like they're going to continue to go with their starter.
Potentially a big moment in the game this inning.
Top of the order now for the Tigers, Jake Martin, 0 for 2 today. He'll come in a great position to create some offense, and a guy who has power, who can lift the ball into the outfield and certainly hit for extra base hits.
Kirk really taking his time here, trying to work out what he wants to do.
Kirk has a lot on his mind. He just got done talking with his coach. He has runners on second base. That means multiple signs from the catcher, so the base runner won't steal it and relay it to the hitter. Meanwhile, if he's at liberty to call his own pitches, he's shaking off and trying to figure out and trying to communicate with his catcher exactly what he wants to throw in a situation like this.
A strike there. 0-1.
Good sharp pitch to start this at bat. Centenary keeping him honest over there. Second base, George Holland not a threat to steal third, but certainly a threat to take home with any ball hit in the outfield.
Caleb Kirk continues to pitch here. That one's going to be low for a ball.
Boy, that's a heck of a job by Centenary catcher
Zapata.
Chris Zapata. He's had two really key blocks tonight that have saved runs, and you'd expect nothing less. Boy, that ball was in the right-hand batter's box, that left-hand hitter's batter's box, and he somehow got a glove on that and saved runners from advancing.
That one's high. 2-1. Zapata certainly one of the mainstays of this Centenary team. You know, a name you see mentioned year after year in SCAC play. An impressive member of this Gens team, and certainly someone who the Tigers are aware and wary of, because he has earned their respect with his play over the past few seasons. Centenary are a very talented and consistently impressive baseball program out of Louisiana.
Boy, Chris Zapata's hitting .377 this year. 8 doubles, 3 triples, 7 home runs, and 45 RBIs. He leads the team in RBIs. He's a threat. He has a quick bat, and he's an excellent defensive asset for this Centenary team.
Ooh.
Well, I'm not sure where that pitch missed. Excuse me.
3-1 count. Martin has worked this nicely, though. I agree with you there, Steve. I thought that might well have been a strike. And Kirk has to continue. Runners at first and second, just one out. They've had the mound visit. This one is a ground ball. Martin manages to get it through, and we will get a run on the board as George Harlan gets home off the single from Jake Martin, and the Tigers get on the board.
Jake Martin showing his opposite field power there with a beautiful hit up right field line, and that's going to score. George Holland all the way from second base.
So Trinity 1, Centenary nothing. Center fielder Blake Frampton up next, still one out. Runners now first and third. You're almost walk. This is obviously a very obvious double play trap here, but if Frampton could get something through the infield, we'll have another run on the board with Aretsky at third. And certainly, again, any wild pitches here, Aretsky might well take off.
Absolutely. Aretsky's going to be looking for any pass ball that skips past that catcher to try and take that run without. Oh, and they go for the squeeze. That's a safety squeeze there. Boy.
Huge there. Advancing Martin to second as well. And runners at second and third. Frampton 1-0 count, and just one out on the board.
Looked like a double steal, almost safety squeeze, where Frampton had all intentions of batting the ball if it were a strike. Runner at first advances to second, and Aretsky is looking to steal home if there's a batted ball. Of course there wasn't, so he turned around and made it back to third safely. We now have runners on second and third, one out. An opportunity now for Frampton, without having to bunt, to knock 2 runners in. That's a good job. It's a good base running call by Coach Scanlon, Coach JC on third, to advance runners without giving up an out.
3-0 count to Frampton.
Boy, and still no activity in the bullpen for Centenary, and
Kirk,
you got to wonder at what
yeah.
point they're going to start thinking about a pitching change.
Absolutely. I think Kirk clearly is someone they want to see go the distance or at least a little bit further, but that's a walk. And the bases are loaded. Now, who do you want with the bases loaded and one out? You want Scott Walters, and that's exactly who they've got. Scott Walters now ready to roll, having a quick chat with Coach JC. And in actual fact, we will have a mound visit from the umpire and perhaps a pitching change here. I did just see Cole Laverne, scoot off from first base, and indeed, Caleb Kirk is going to be replaced. He doesn't appear to be very happy with it, shaking his head as he comes off, and saying a couple other things as well. We will step aside for just 1 second and be back with you very shortly with the new Centenary pitcher. Bases loaded, don't go anywhere. Okay, guys, back live now. Interesting pitching change here. Cole Laverne has been moved from first into the pitching mound, and we'll see who his replacement at first is in just a second. But Caleb Kirk wasn't happy with being replaced. But with bases loaded, 1 out, and trailing 1-0, already having given up a run in this inning, it's not a bad idea. And that's a nice sidearm pitch there from Laverne to start. 0-1 with a strike right down the middle.
Centenary bringing in a different change of pace, going to slow down the tempo. You kind of saw the energy building, and you almost saw this game getting out of hand. They're going to bring in a guy who has a different look, doesn't throw as hard of a fastball, lives a little bit lower. You see that almost sidearm 3/4 arm slot. It's a different look for these Tigers hitters.
So Laverne shrouded a little bit in darkness in your screen there. Laverne puts that one in for a second strike. Count moves to 2-2 as he's trying to escape this bases loaded hole he's been thrown into. pretty good start so far.
Hey, good take there by Walters. Slow slider on the outside part of the plate. Wouldn't have swung. He's got to be careful now.
That one fouled off. Stays alive at 2-2.
Cole has a 2.5 ERA, 2-0. He's appeared in 8 games, 21 innings pitched. He's allowed hitters to a 231 average. Pretty good numbers.
And that's fired, and it's going to loop to second base. Walters, frustrated with himself, gives up the second out. And Laverne has done his job, at least initially there, in stopping the Tigers from scoring any more. But Michael Davis, who we know has power, he is up now, the designated hitter. Someone who certainly can get the wheels turning on this Tiger offense if given the chance by Laverne. So we'll see how Laverne tries to combat Davis.
You saw that ball from Walters, just couldn't quite make it into the outfield deep enough to score that runner from third. That's why you saw such the frustration. I mean,
there was not a lot of a gap there, and it was very close to being exactly what he needed.
Yeah, you know, and as a hitter, the only thing worse than that with a runner in scoring position is striking out. And the only thing worse than that is striking out looking, right? So at least he's swinging the bat. Ooh, a hard hit ball there.
Safe, and the run will score. Oretsky gets there. Davis does the business, and the Tigers lead by 2.
Boy, hard hit ball from Davis. That ball was roped down the third base line.
Yep. Just got there at second base, so bases remain loaded. Davis able to get into first, and another mound visit here. Zapata going to talk to Laverne straight away, and Chalmette now having a quick visit with J.C. Bunch as well.
Centenary third baseman Ian Graham did an excellent job diving, making that play, and ultimately saving another run from coming across the board. Heck of a play. Unfortunately, just couldn't beat out the speed over there at second base. This base runner, Joey Pecoraro was in. Martin. That ball one there. The key to this game, the key to these quicker innings has been first pitch strike and getting that leadoff out. And we've seen when neither of those happen, these innings can get out of hand.
That's a strike.
Davis at first. Knocking in the last run. Jake Martin over at third base.
That one in for another strike. Chalmette lets it go by.
Boy, you look at Frampton out at second base, taking a huge, aggressive secondary lead. That's exactly what you want from a guy out there. He can't fall asleep, even though the bases are loaded, even though there's a guy on third. You can't go anywhere. If there's a ball in the outfield, that extra aggressiveness is going to be the difference between him scoring a run and getting thrown out by the center fielder.
Chalmette swings and misses. So Laverne does do the job holding the bases loaded situation to just one more run. And the Tigers do now lead. And it is 2-0 after 5 completed innings. And we will move on to the top of the 6th very shortly.
Debaters are the kinds of students who learn best by helping to shape the discourse in the room, as opposed to simply absorbing a lecture or other material that's given to them. It can only happen at a school with average class sizes like we have at Trinity. The challenge at Trinity certainly comes from the rigor of the classroom experiences.
Welcome back, guys. Quintanilla for Centenary. That one goes straight to McGee, but he's going to be safe at first there, Quintanilla. Managing to get to first on that little ground ball there.
Boy, a nice drag bunt by Aaron to trick the defense. And Centenary starts off with the base run, leadoff runner on first. That's exactly the key to driving runs in for this game so far. So an excellent job, and holy cow, the wheels. He was down there in about 3 seconds. McGee's got to be careful. Aaron will not take second base here with no outs.
McGee gets that one in for a strike.
You see that sharp breaking ball? He's comfortable enough now. He's worked through a few innings that he's comfortable throwing that for a first pitch strike. But with a fast runner on first, you want to really make sure you're getting that ball as fast to the catcher as possible. You see him throw over to make sure. Last thing you want to do is allow Centenary, runner on second with no outs.
I think you just don't want to let them back into this game as well, considering how long it's taken to get anything on the board offensively. You don't know when the next run's going to come, so McGee definitely trying to maintain this 2-run lead that he's been given following a nice little inning from the Tiger offense last time at bat.
Absolutely. Those Trinity hitters had a fun inning last half, and it's Dylan's job now to get them back at the plate and continue that fire.
That one's way high and wide from McGee. 2-1.
Tigers lead 2-0. You might see Centenary work some sort of bunt play here. Still no outs.
That's going to be 3-1. And McGee just missing the strike zone a little bit here. And, he has done a very impressive job through the first 5 innings. And, we discussed, obviously, Centenary just made a pitching change, and there might be one coming for the Tigers soon here, you feel. But McGee's still in control here. Just needs to try and get out of this situation without allowing the second runner on base, as we said. Cody Crowder with this 3-1 lead in the count right now.
I'd expect Coach Scannell and Coach Dave Smith, pitching coach, to allow Dylan 1 or 2 more batters as long as he can get them out. If another base runner gets on, I'd expect there to be a pitching change, and we see some activity in the Trinity bullpen.
That's going to be a second strike. Full count now.
But give credit to Dylan McGee. He's come in. He's done an outstanding job of keeping his pace quick. Hasn't allowed innings to get out of hand. If he's had base runners on, he's figured out ways to get out of the innings. As he works a full count here.
And That is gonna put Crowder on base.
Looks like that'll be it.
Here we do have this mound visit from Dave Smith, and we will expect a pitching change here. McGee with a very good outing so far, 5 innings, and that will do him for the night. So we will take a step aside and be back with you very shortly with the new Trinity pitcher.
And he slots it home, and the Tigers get the lead they were looking for. It's 1-0 Trinity.
No idea. It's going pretty quickly. It's been going pretty quickly. Okay, guys, welcome back. Chris Tate has stepped in for the Tigers. The pitcher, Tate, a senior, and certainly a important part of this team, and someone who's got a big personality, the senior left-hander. And Tate will try and get out of this two-batter on-base hole that he's in, but still with a 2-run advantage, so Trinity with a little bit of leeway. And Michael Schimpf at base.
Tate has explosive stuff. You'll see a really moving fastball. Tails out on righties, tails in on lefties. Ooh, see that pitch right there. It's a good day when Chris Tate lives low, and that's what you're seeing. He struggled recently to throw the ball over the plate and to throw strikes. He keeps hitters over 7 appearances to a 122 batting average. So really good stuff. It just has to be able to throw it over the plate.
Fouled off there to stay alive.
And Tate started out as a Trinity starter. And worked his way into the bullpen and is still trying to find what's been working. And the whole Trinity pitching staff, nothing is really set in stone, quite like the 3 guys for Centenary that I guarantee you'll see Saturday, both games.
That one is going to pop up, and Pecoraro chasing over, and over the shoulder catch made, but the runner will advance to third. So we get an out. Joey Pecoraro with a very nice catch there, but runner will advance, and
an excellent catch there by Joey. That ball was in foul territory in one of the worst areas on the field, and he was running backwards blind, and he had to catch it over his shoulder. An excellent catch in foul territory. And Joey, knowing heads-up baseball, was able to turn around and throw the ball, although it didn't have a lot of steam on it. He had momentum going in the opposite direction. he was able to at least get that throw over to third base and let Centenary know he's playing heads-up baseball.
Indeed, and so obviously the runner held at first by that play from Pecoraro as Cormac and Tate have a little signal discussion. Runners at first and third now, 1 out. Tate throws with his open body stance. That's quite nice. The left-hander trying to pick off the runner at first. Not quite able to do so though. And Tate continues. This time does pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop. Double play opportunity is not going to be made. It is! He got it there. Centenary are very unhappy about it.
Boy, Chris
very
Tate came
unhappy
in there.
about it.
He did his job.
Centenary coach in the umpire's face. This is very unorthodox, but the Tigers are celebrating wildly, and well they might. Middle of the 6th, and Trinity still leads 2-0, and we will step aside and be back with you shortly. Welcome back, guys. Bottom of the 6th, and Parker Cormac will lead this one off for the Tigers. I think there was a tossing of the Centenary coach following that infraction with the umpire. And certainly the gents, I think, a little bit fairly aggrieved at that decision. I did think that the throw was late and that it was safe personally, though Steve does disagree and thinks that it was a legitimate out. So it's an interesting situation, and certainly one that was a tough call, as Parker with quite a wild swing on that one. And it's 0-2. Centenary certainly unhappy right now, and the fans and players and coaching staff alike all voicing their displeasure.
And you gotta sympathize with the Centenary team. It has gone for their way this evening. Certainly, some of these close calls
pop up back to the picture there,
and they don't help. And you saw the third base coach have a frank discussion with one of the umpires in the field, and he was tossed, and that's only going to fire up this Centenary team, and you saw one quick out right there by
Harland, who scored the opening run of the game following getting on base with an impressively drawn walk, is now back up for the Tigers.
Tigers batted around. Holland started that inning in the 5th where the Tigers scored 2 runs. He was their leadoff runner. Working his way into a hitter's count here. Got to be perfect at 2-0. And these poor umpires, they're going to hear it all weekend, I have a feeling, from this Centenary fan squad.
And that will be a strike.
Holland's still ahead in the count, 2-1.
Two and two count now. And that will become a 3-2 full count as Haaland again working this count very nicely. And we'll see if Laverne can avoid walking Haaland.
And one thing you're told as players, you never blame the umpires. There's always things in your control you can do to manipulate the game. There's certainly an aspect of it.
Haaland thought he got the walk there, but the strikeout is called. And that's the second out of the inning. Bringing up Pecoraro. Pecoraro having a pretty decent performance so far today in the field. And
sound defensively, still looking for his first hit in this game. And one thing this Tigers offense has been able to do today is certainly work the counts, and
that one's in.
And the ability for these pitchers to get ahead and to stay ahead has been a key trend this game. We say it over and over again that these walks, especially these two-out walks, they kill a team. It's a free base.
And Laverne gets him swinging. End of the inning. Still six innings gone. Still 2-0 Trinity. Back with you very shortly.
Hello, and welcome to the Center for Sciences and Innovation, or as we like to call it here at Trinity, CSI. They call me the Center for Sciences and Innovation Building Official Robot Guide, but you can just call me CSI Borg.
So here at Trinity, we have this new building called CSI. It stands for the Center for the Sciences and Innovation. It's our new science building, and we're really proud of it. And so what we wanted to do was we wanted to develop a unique and impressive way to showcase this building to prospective students. And to do this, we developed an automated tour guide that started with the base of just a robot, and we added physical hardware components too, as well as software components too, to make it accomplish these goals.
It was an innovative project for an innovation building, and I was like, wow, I would love to get my hands on that kind of project, just to, what better way to showcase this new CSI building than with innovation itself.
So we really wanted to make the tour more interactive and user-friendly. So our first task was to make really the robot taller. So I designed a Trinity tower scale model that makes the robot about 3.5 feet tall, gives a little bit better interface for people to use it.
Luckily, when we started the project last year, I was taking Scala. So I was kind of getting my hands wet with coding.
I think our biggest challenge was compiling all of the...
We're back with you live on the Tiger Network here. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Very interesting game of baseball so far between the number 6 ranked Centenary College and your Trinity University Tigers. Tigers leading 2-0, and Chris Tate continuing and starting off with a lovely strike there in the top of the 7th here.
But Chris Tate, you can just tell he's excited to pitch tonight, and you can just see the energy. You can see how fast he wants that ball back. He wants to throw that pitch, and that fastball looks pretty explosive tonight. It's nice to see from Tate. He's due for a good outing.
Indeed. Tate, an integral part of the Tiger team over the past 4 years. That's a good pitch, but a little bit outside. 2-1.
Tate, one of the top 3 pitchers in innings pitched for Trinity. He's got 24 James Natoli, 27 innings pitched. Kevin Flores up there leading with 33. And then you see a lot of 13s, 11. You got 14 for Trevor Griffin. Dylan McGee and Jeff Lonecker both sit in at 13. So you're seeing a nice spread and a nice mix of getting guys getting opportunities to go out and prove themselves on the mound.
That's going to be a walk, though. Tate a little bit loose on that one there to start with.
Last call for the Trinity Dining Services concession stand. Last call for the concession stand.
And
Coach Scanley, you do not like to see that. That makes you a little uncomfortable. Lead-off walk.
Pitcher number 33, Cole Laverne.
The pitcher, Cole Laverne, continuing.
Cole Laverne's a two-way guy. A little more rare to see. The guy pitching and hitting in the same inning.
Tate gets him swinging up high there. Throws to first. Tag is not in time.
And I like that play. Anytime you give up a leadoff walk, you want to make sure they're honest over at first. And no better pitcher than a left-hander who's staring right at that runner.
And another strike there. Laverne not able to get anything on it as Tate just working this nicely. 0-2 here.
Tate blowing that fastball right by Laverne. I'd like to see that fastball up again, maybe in. Ooh, got him leaning. Ooh, boy.
The Tiger bench thought they'd got him there. Not going to be given, though.
Chris very good at keeping runners. He has a couple stolen bases this year. Excuse me, a couple pickoffs. I don't think he's stealing any bags.
No, probably not for the pitching man. Good for Chris. That's a... Oh, he's fouled it. Very close there. Laverne just able to get back on ball.
Now Chris is at a 0-2 count here. This should be his pitch. This should be his best pitch he's most confident with, and it should not be a strike.
See if he can get him swinging up high. 1-2.
Yeah, I like that. That's exactly what he was trying to do there. Change the eye level. You've seen Chris go low, 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 low. Well, hitters are going to start to cheat. If they see you're throwing low, they'll start to bend a little lower. You got to brush them up and keep them honest every once in a while.
That one flies through and hits the umpire.
Boy, and the Centenary fans are getting they're getting a crack out of that one. That
was fast-paced and probably quite painful.
Home plate umpire gets drilled. They're going to give him some water and take a break.
Dave Smith sharing a laugh with the umpire, though I don't know if he found it all that funny.
Wow.
Certainly the Centenary fans seem to enjoy that. Cormac readjusting his helmet and getting ready as Laverne is ready to step back into the batting box.
Now the home plate umpire has to get back in the exact same position and risk getting hit again, right? And you overlook kind of that dangerous position that they're in every single pitch with bat coming off, ball coming off the bat at upwards of 100 miles an hour.
Tate, that one is a third strike. Tate gets the strikeout.
Boy, nothing you can do there if you're hitting. I mean, that ball just painted the shins of the plate and unhittable pitch. Chris Tate, if he keeps that fastball going all night long at that depth, that low fastball, He'll ride this game out until the end. I'd like to see Chris working a little faster, though, trying to get his team back in. You notice a lot of time in between pitches. That's something Dylan McGee did really well, is he got the ball, got back on the mound, and was ready to pitch under 30 seconds.
Bit high from Tate there.
And a close ball game like this, paying attention to the base runners is going to be really important. And I have to wonder, that's part of the reason they brought Chris in. They knew, look, if this guy gets in a tight pressure situation, he's really comfortable throwing over to first base. He's comfortable throwing over to third base. He's comfortable running a daylight pick with the second base, with shortstop when there's a runner on second.
And
see it right there.
Clean.
Boy.
Runner is gone. Fantastic from the pitching and catching combo there. Tate and Cormac over to Oretsky and Harland at second there, and the second out goes down.
Boy, Cormac has just been absolutely lights out. That's 2 runners he's thrown out. He's absolutely stopped this Centenary game, and you give Chris credit for keeping that runner so tight and allowing that jump to be such a delay.
So bases are cleared. Huge advantage for Tate now. That lone base runner is gone. 2 outs, and we are moving forward. That's fouled back.
Hey, if you're Chris Tate here, your number one goal is to force contact. You do not want to give up a walk. That just slows down momentum, especially after a pickoff move that you just saw. Excuse me, a throw down to second base. There it is.
Tate does the business. Strikeout gets him swinging, and that is the end of the top of the 7th for Centenary. Trinity still leading 2-0. Back with you very shortly.
So the value of learning in a broad-based liberal arts and sciences university is that you don't have to be just one thing. In fact, we encourage you to be more than one thing. And as a first-year student, if you're coming in and you have absolutely no idea what you want to be when you grow up, then this is a great place for you to start. Get to test out a bunch of different classes and find your passion. And most of our students, you'll notice, have more than one passion.
One of the reasons why I came to Trinity is because of the liberal arts education, and because I was kind of unsure of what I wanted to study. So coming to Trinity and being able to take classes in every department and having the faculty tell you what you're good at and guiding you through the way, having an advisor, has really, really benefited me, and I know a lot of my colleagues, because you are able to take classes and choose your major your junior year. And you don't waste any of your classes because every class teaches you something really special.
So being an engineer, attending a liberal arts school, most engineers would question that, and they would wonder why I'm attending a liberal arts university. But the entire background on that.
So, bottom of the 7th, Oretsky up for the Tigers. In a good position, leading by 2, heading into the final third of this game. Oretsky ready to go. Laverne still pitching. That's the first pitch strike.
Laverne's really settled nicely into his spot. See that 3/4 arm slot creates a lot of fastball run. That's going to create a not so straight pitch from Laverne, and you pair that with the unorthodox arm slot, and you can really throw off the timing of the hitters. And you see Oretsky falls quickly to 0-2. Falls right down the pipe.
And that's the first out.
Oretsky fooled there with a breaking pitch that Cross right over the middle of the base.
Jake Martin, the birthday boy, up now for the Tigers.
Martin, a 1 for 3 day. He's hit the ball hard all day, just seemed to have found a glove. He's been a critical leadoff hitter for the Tigers.
And that's a good hit from Martin. Cannons off the second baseman's leg. Looked like it might have hurt him a little bit there. No surprises with how hard Martin hit that. But Martin will go to first off a really nicely hit ground ball. And up next, Blake Frampton.
Martin driving the ball hard to the right side on the ground again. That's exactly what you're taught as a hitter. Look, instead of, if you see a fastball on the outside part of the plate, the last thing you want to do is drive that pitch down third base. You lose all your power, it's going to be a rollover ground ball. Instead, go with that outside pitch. Let that ball get a little deeper. That's hard as a hitter. You got to really work on your timing and really work on those quick hands.
Frampton gets a toe on that, but it will be a strike as he fouls it off.
And Frampton's another batter that comes to mind that has really fast hands. And when you have the ability to let the ball get deep into the plate, and then switch in an instant, decide to hit, it allows you to handle off-speed pitches a lot better.
Fouls that one as well. As the runner took off from first there, Martin trying to get to second.
And at this level, you're not seeing a consistent 90 to 95, but in the big leagues, there's not enough time to make that decision between curveball versus fastball. They have to program their swing to hit. Basically decided on where the pitch is and if it's a strike. So to see Martin have that ability as a young player early in this program is certainly a tool that scouts and that the next level they expect you to have.
So Frampton strikes out, and X brings up Scott Walters again for the Tigers. Walters 0 for 3 so far today. But that is certainly a rarity as far as Scott's concerned. We'll see if he can manage to find something here with 2 outs to try and advance Martin from his current position at first base. And let's see what Scott does here. Laverne still on the mound. Tries to go and get Martin at first, but unable to do so. That's a good contact on the bat from Walters, and it will drop. And Scott Walters has done his job, getting on base with a very nice hit into right field. And Martin all the way around to third. Tigers have a runner in scoring position late in the 7th.
Walters popped that one just short of that right field range, and he was able to plop it right in enough position to put a runner in scoring position. Tigers have another 2-out opportunity here late in the game. Boy, and a big one here for Davis as he steps up.
Laverne to Davis.
Good spot now for Davis. Davis is a dangerous hitter. He's even more of a dangerous hitter, 1-0. With 2 outs, he loves the pressure.
1-1.
Centenary has a little activity in their bullpen. Besides Kurt giving up those 2 runs in the 6th. Well, we have a 3rd and 1st play. Pickoff. What you just saw there was a fake pickoff to 3rd. There's a right-handed pitcher. Turn around, throw it to 1st, and you catch a runner sleeping. Centenary gets out of that inning scot-free.
Indeed, as Walter's not able to make anything happen there after getting to 1st. A little bit of a discussion between Jewett and the umpire there, Coach Nick Jewett this year. Anyway, end of the 7th, still 2-0 Trinity. Chris Tate getting ready to pitch again. Back with you shortly.
I am Chris Garagiola in the class of 2015. I am a senior, and I'm a communications major and a human communication minor. I like to look at Trinity as a before and after. The kid who I was then and the man I am now. They are 2 very different people, to be perfectly honest. There were a lot of things that I kind of needed to do my own growing up, and when I was surrounded by the right faculty and the right friends, I was put on the right path. I was able to start doing things that I really never thought were possible. I'm going to be working this summer in London. I had an internship with a major sports television company, which is something that I always wanted to do, and being at Trinity, they made that possible because they made me someone who was capable of that type of opportunity.
Now Markey playing a ball. Hamel tried to flick it forward, but it was blocked by Stanek.
Being a part of Newswave, that was such a unique experience.
Trinity University is home to many social, professional, and academic groups.
I can't think of another place really where I could have gone and been on camera and had the chance to kind of practice what I dream of doing someday. I think the fear is, with a liberal arts school, people are worried that they're not going to get the true college experience, whatever that means to them. I'm going to graduate from here, and I'm going to say that these were the best 4 years of my life. The Riverwalk's not too far, the airport's just down the road.
Welcome back again, guys. Top of the 8th. And Centenary in need of something quick to try and cut into this Tiger lead. A little bit of a change here for them as Nicholas de la Neuville, again, that might be the name of the day. Nicholas de la Neuville with the chance to bat now for Centenary.
Really
Tate
important.
Continuing.
Really important for Chris Tate to get this first out of the inning. Good start there with first strike. Chris came in. Critical situation. Got through the 6th inning. Worked his way out of a jam in the 7th inning and popping strike 2 there. On top of the 8th. Centenary has 2 more opportunities to put 2 runs across the board, try and tie this game up or take the lead.
Tate doing what Tate does best, strikes him out. Not much of an at-bat there for Nicholas de la Neuville.
You see 3 fastballs, 3 strikes, and an electrifying strikeout. That's a great way to start an inning, especially as a pitcher. Boy, when you're confident in your fastball, it feels like everything else is working off of that. There's not a better feeling in the world. And Tate does look good tonight.
That one's gone foul. One on one count. That one gets a strike.
Boy, sharp breaking pitch there from Tate. That's really good to see that. That ball started as a middle high strike and busted right in on that right-hander's back hip, handcuffing and making that just an impossible pitch to get the bat around on.
That one is fouled off. He stays alive there.
Yeah, and you can tell Chris feels good when he's throwing an inside curveball back-to-back with an inside fastball. Mirroring that pitch is exactly this pitch sequence that this Tiger team is used to, and Chris is doing a wonderful job executing.
Wilkinson fouls it off again, staying alive.
I think Chris not happy with himself there. He left that pitch too much over the plate. He's still 1-2 here. He's way ahead in the count. He could basically do what he'd like here for the next 2 pitches. Let's see what Parker calls.
Ooh, bit high.
There's that breaking pitch you really need to see low. If he leaves that pitch high, that's where he gets hurt.
Tate gets him swinging. Second out of the inning. And Wilkinson falls.
Batting third, the shortstop, number 15, Aaron Quintanilla.
Tate relying on that fastball again. Seems like the Centenary team's having a tough time keeping up to it.
Quintanilla will try and fare a little bit better.
Chris quickly has 2 outs, 1 out away from getting his offense back into a striking position.
Big swing and a miss there from Quintanilla.
Chris missing low, very good strike, very good ball, excuse me. And Parker working hard. I mean, it goes without saying, he still has to block those balls without any runners on base. So an excellent job with McCormack, really keeping a tight lock there on behind the dish. As a pitcher, there's no better feeling than having a guy that you know is a brick wall back there. That's what you call a solid catcher, is a brick wall. And Parker's certainly a brick wall.
Quintanilla swings and misses. And Chris Tate continues to dominate from the mound. Middle of the 8th. That feels like a big inning for the Tigers there. Headed to the bottom of the 8th. Trinity still up 2-0. We'll be back with you soon.
And he slots it home. And the Tigers get the lead they were looking for. It's 1-0 Trinity.
Michael Davis will start the bottom of the 8th for the Tigers. I have just begun. Trinity with this 2-run lead. Cole Laverne, sidearm in ball number 1. Trinity just trying to see this through now at this point, the remainder of this game. That one flies into what looks like foul territory, in fact into the bullpen, and certainly not going to be caught there by any of the Centenary fielders that were chasing it over there. Trinity with this 2-run advantage and a 1-on-1 count here from Laverne to Davis. He gets that strike. Takes it to 1-2. Sidearm from Laverne, a little bit outside, and an even count at 2-2. Trinity seeing if they can tack on some insurance runs before they go for the kill in the top of the 9th. Davis with this even count. Laverne pitches. Davis bat on ball. Again drifting foul. Again drifting out of play. No attempt made. Davis stays alive.
I'd expect Laverne to be on a pretty short leash here. If Davis gets on, I expect to see Centenary make a pitching change. But so far, Laverne has really looked solid battling Davis. Davis has been a hot bat for Tigers. It's a good spot to start off this inning.
That one's outside and low from Laverne. 3-2 count. Full count.
Got to wonder now, is a fastball coming or is Laverne going to rely on that off-speed? I say fastball.
Hit by Davis. It's going to just drift into foul territory, but the catch is made on the run by the right fielder. That is Cameron Gwynn. Excuse me. Number 14, Scott Dwyer, who's come into the game. Excuse me. Dwyer in for the Gents. So, 1 out, bottom of the 8th. Rafe Chalmette up now, trying to see if he can get something going.
Nothing would energize these Tigers going into the 9th more than putting on one more run up the board. I know they're up 2, and 2 runs has seemed like a ton in this inning. 2 runs feels like 5 in this inning, just with the lack of offense we've seen. But an insurance run sure would look good.
Oh, and Chalmette puts bat on ball and hammers that, and he's going to chase to second and get there. Rafe Chalmette with a double, with a fantastic hit.
Rafe Chalmette with the hardest hit ball of the evening, the hardest hit ball I think I've seen all year from the Tigers. That ball made it to the fence in a jiffy.
Very, very nice piece of hitting from Chalmette. And Parker Cormack, who we've seen make an impact with bat on ball already today, is up next. Chalmette at second, 1 out. Cormack trying to advance him and see if we can set up an insurance, a 3rd run for the Tigers.
Excellent job by Chalmette. Not only getting a nice piece of hitting, but thinking second base the whole time, especially late in this game. You want to try and take second, and a beautiful slide, too, to try and avoid that tag. Really, you got to give Centenary some credit to get that ball in. That was a very close play on what a lot of us thought was a stand-up double.
And you know that Chalmette knew that he had the speed to get there. His fast feet certainly do the talking. But Chalmette still had to hustle and get round first and turn the corner for second, and he managed to do that as Laverne throws high again. 2-0 count now to Cormack.
And now you see now Centenary not making a pitching change, and you got to wonder at what point are they going to basically change up this look. As Parker sits in a really nice hitter's count, 2-0.
That's a nice pitch from Laverne, 2-1.
Laverne competing, working hard for every pitch, still throwing some good strikes. Chalmette trying to get into the pitcher's mind over there at second, doing a little dance.
That's foul. 2-2.
Tigers have Holland on deck. Joey Pecoraro in the hole. Runner on second with one out.
Cormac is going to fly that out into center field. Catch is made. Chalmette does not take off, having drifted back to take the tag. And 2 outs. And next up is George Harland.
Next up for the Tigers, second baseman number 7, George Allen.
Although George hasn't shown it this year, he's definitely capable of some home run power. And boy, when he connects with a ball, it goes a mile. I'd like to see George get underneath one here and see if he can put on 2 more runs for these Tigers.
Laverne looking down Chalmette and then releases. Harland takes that one a little high. Ball 1.
If you're Holland now, you've worked yourself into a nice count. You're expecting fastball, especially after a breaking pitch like that missed for ball 1. Good opportunity here.
1-1 count. Second ball, 2-1 count. See how Harland works this next pitch.
Be nice. Holland is a senior second baseman. Be nice to see Holland drive something into the outfield here and do something for this team.
Big swing, no contact. 2-2.
George is one of the senior leaders on this team. He's bounced around, played a little catcher. Now he's here in a crucial hitting spot.
And he strikes out.
Goes down on strikes.
So that will end the inning. 3 outs and we are done. End of the 8th. Headed to the top of the 9th. Trinity 2, Centenary nothing. Be back with you shortly to see if Centenary can tie this up. It's game time now, guys. Cody Crowder leading off for Centenary. They need 2 runs at least to extend this game. We'll see how it's going. Straight in for a strike from Chris Tate. No messing around here. I think Tate's ready to get out of here and go get some sleep.
Yeah, Tate's ready to go home, go to bed and restart the day tomorrow. He looks happy to be out there, looks excited, and he's working quick.
And that's fouled off for strike 2. See if Tate can get out of here in 9 pitches.
I think he can here. 9 fastballs, that would be the ticket.
But that one is going to be a little bit outside. 1 and 2.
Looks like Tate saved a little gas for the 9th inning. He's throwing pretty good here.
He's just drawing out the tension here for all of the fans watching on the Tiger Network. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage tonight. Tate this time gets him swinging, and the Tigers are 2 outs away.
Batting second, the left fielder, number 31, Michael Schimpf.
Schimpf up now. See if he can make any headway against Tate, which, to be fair, none of the Centenary batters have been able to do so far.
You haven't seen Tate throw one ball above the belt unintentionally, and that's credit right there. You see that pitch, low fastball.
Schimpf does get bat on ball there. Chased over there by Pecoraro, but unable to get that. It will be a strike rather than an out.
You see that foul ball over on the right-hand side? That's an immediate indicator for the batter being late. So Chris has really had some zip on that fastball tonight.
That's a lovely pitch from Tate, but just a little high. 1-1 count.
He's got to be careful not to overthrow, though, at the same time.
Strike 2.
I'd like to see that breaking pitch one more time. Chris with a really excellent pitch there. Let's see if he can make it sharp. No.
And gets him swinging. Chris Tate, what can you say?
Yeah, it sticks with the high cheese. And why would you ever go away from it? These Centenary hitters are late on his fastball, and you might as well keep throwing that fastball until they're going to touch it.
One more out. It will be Chris Zapata to try and extend the game for Centenary by reaching and getting on base.
This is really Centenary's best shot at getting the guy in scoring position. And to be fair, Centenary's only 1 base runner away from tying this thing up. So a lot of pressure on both sides now to both get this out and to try and extend this inning into a tie baseball game.
Back-to-back swings and misses. And Tate is 1 strike away from a imperiously flawless 9th inning here.
Boy, Tate's just been striking everybody out tonight. It's been a joy to watch. I'd like to see him put a gold stamp on this night with a fastball here. Ooh, boy, good breaking pitch there.
Chris having a laugh about that one. I think he thought he was about to take the victory. Congratulations, but did not get it.
Boy, a sharp breaking pitch there. I think that might have fooled the umpire as well.
And that is that. Game over. Chris Tate celebrates with the Tiger team. And Trinity have defeated the number 6 team in the nation by a score of 2-0. I've been Callum Squires. Steve, final regards with the game?
Boy, what a great start to Trinity coming back home. It's only their 4th game back home, and it's nice to see that they come out with a win over number 6 Centenary. That's a tough offense, and for that Trinity pitching staff to come out and throw goose eggs day in and day out. You saw guys on third, you guys saw guys on second, saw a lot of tough innings. Chris Tate to come in and really save the day and really just be lights out and energetic. What a ball game.
Fantastic indeed. Chris Tate, superb. Trinity with the 2-0 victory. We have a doubleheader tomorrow afternoon back here live on the Tiger Network. Steve and Mac will be here with that for you. So from San Antonio, Spring Friends and Family Weekend, it's a Trinity victory to open up the weekend. See you guys tomorrow on the Tiger Network. I've been Callum Squires. Good night.